Namaste everyone and a very warm welcome to all of you in my today's session where I will be talking about my new workshop on inner child healing therapy. Inner child healing therapy has started to become very popular these days because it teaches us one of the most important things of our lives, which is it teaches us how we can take care of ourselves. When you learn the tools and techniques of inner child healing and when you start to practice them, you will see that you are being able to control all types of unpleasant emotions. Like you can control your stress, anxiety, you can come out of your depression, you can control your anger, sadness, guilt, and grief. So all of these negative emotions which bother us, we will be able to control them. In fact, when we learn this therapy, the inner child healing therapy, we can actually control the type of thoughts which we think. We can control the quality of our thoughts and the kind of emotions which we experience. So it is a very empowering technique. Now, another important thing about inner child healing is that there are two questions which most people have. The first one is that who is this inner child or what is this inner child? And the second question is that how do you know that your inner child is wounded? So let us begin with answering the first question, that who is this inner child? See, each one of us have experienced the presence of this inner child within us. The inner child helps us in experiencing emotions of joy, emotions of wonder, emotions of curiosity. So we are able to experience all of these emotions because we have this inner child within us. And similarly, when this inner child experiences the various things which we experience, like there are certain negative things which we experience. Let us say that we feel that nobody is understanding us. We feel fear that we are not being able to express ourselves. Sometimes we feel really sad and hurt because some people talk in a very rude fashion or their behavior towards us have changed and their behavior is very, very negative. So when these type of negative things surround us, or when we experience these negative experiences, our inner child also gets affected by them. In fact, it gets deeply affected. When anything negative happens, the inner child gets negatively impacted, which means that it can become sad, it can become hurt, and it can also become angry. And because our inner child is wounded and is experiencing all this, we want to vent it out. We want to express ourselves and we have fights and arguments. But what happens after these fights? After these fights and arguments, our inner child is again wounded. It again gets hurt. So we have to learn techniques which heal the wounds of inner child and not inflict more wounds on our inner child. So you will be able to learn this when you are able to understand the healing techniques of mindfulness, of thoughtfulness, of love, self-love, compassion, anchoring. So there are so many things which we will be discussing, and it is not like these things are only at a spiritual level. These things are very practical. You will actually learn how to understand your inner child, how to listen to the inner child, how to actually understand that what is it which is causing you trouble, what is it which is causing you immense sadness. So all of these things are both at a practical level and at a spiritual level, and we will be covering both these in this workshop. So we have understood that this inner child is wounded. Now how do you know, how can you say that your inner child is wounded? Now the answer to this question is that anytime you feel that you experience anger, you experience sadness, you feel like you want to shout at others, you feel lonely, you feel disturbed, you feel like you're drowning in negative emotions, negative thoughts are coming to you. That is when you can say that all these things are happening because somewhere your inner child within you is hurt. So you have to understand. And how does the inner child get hurt? Because see, right from the time that we were born, to this point where we are in our lives. For all of these years, so many experiences have happened, so many things have occurred, so many experiences are there which our inner child has witnessed, and we were really young, we did not understand it properly, and these negative incidents have really had a very negative impact on the inner child. And probably because of that, the inner child feels that it feels alone, it feels like no one is understanding the inner child, and we want others to understand us, we want others to comfort us, we want others to take care of us. But when you learn inner child healing, you learn techniques which can empower you. You learn techniques through which you can tell yourself, it is like you are a parent of your inner child, and you can listen to the inner child, you can understand, you can label the emotions, and then you can come out of it. It is like you're taking a bath. It is like you are healing all the wounds, and these wounds are sometimes so old. We have been carrying the baggage of these fears, the baggage of these mistakes, our past mistakes, or the baggage of these wounds for so many years. And that is why whether we want it or not, this inner child, whatever it is carrying, right, all of these negative emotions which it is storing, sometimes it is anger, sometimes it is guilt, sometimes it is hurt, sometimes it is grief, all of these things which have accumulated within us actually impact our lives, they impact our decisions, they impact our thoughts, they impact our actions, and it also impact our efficiency and productivity. So that is why it is so important to heal your inner child, so that you're not dependent on anyone else. You exactly know the tools and techniques of how you can take care of yourself. And that is exactly what we're going to learn in this workshop through various techniques. So if you want to join this workshop, you can join. We're starting from the 4th of July and the registrations are going on. And trust me, you will feel rejuvenated once you are able to heal your inner child. And we are going to discuss concepts where we will do the DNA healing. We will do the healing even at the genetic level, because our body carries memory, right? Now, you might not remember your great-grandmother or your great-grandfather, but probably there is some trait which you still carry. Probably your nose is like them, your eyes are like them. So our genes, our DNA carries so many memories. So that is why there is another scientific concept which is known as ancestral healing, where we actually heal ourselves of all of these. We heal our DNA. We heal ourselves from all of these negative things which have been troubling us and which have been impacting us in any way. So inner child is actually a vast concept, and we're going to go right from the basics. We're going to go at the advanced levels in very simple language, so that we can become the best version of ourselves. So that was it, a brief intro about the inner child healing therapy. Thank you, everyone.